Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I am your host, Shante Grant, founder of Best Today. I say that because today's episode really has in mind those of you who are new to Best Today. This gives me one space to send you to say hello and welcome. So if you're new to Best Today, welcome. We are a wellness company that's committed to giving you the tools that you need to be proactive and intentional with your time so that you can live a life of wellness, mentally, emotionally, and physically. That is why we exist. That is what we are here to do. And that is what we are doing for humans all across the globe. Now, in episode 32, which is a great one, I want you to write that down so you can go back and listen, just tap back to 32. I give you the 4 Best Today principles, which we're going to talk about right now in this episode as well. But I talk about what our 4 principles are, what, why, and kind of what they look like in practice. And I want to walk you through that today and just tell you more about Best Today, who we are, what we do, and what we have to offer you. Okay, so those 4 principles are, if you think of the word SIP, there's a long S because there are 2 S's, SSIP. Yes, I understand if you spell it backwards, it's a different word, but this is why we're going to go with SIP. Okay, so the first principle is self-awareness. The second is self-love. The third is intention. And the fourth is proaction. So let's start with self-awareness. Why is that a core principle here and what a part of how we do what we do? Self-awareness is, this awareness of yourself, right? It's vital in living a life of intention and wellness. Who you are, what you think, the curiosity to find out why you think and do what you do are going to help you to build healthy habits and do the work to prune and shed unhealthy habits and choices. Self-love, that love to make space for self-awareness, and also the love to allow yourself to be a human being who will make mistakes along the way. You may get it wrong sometime, but your willingness to get up and try again and do your best with what you have and what one today at a time. That's what I have found to be the most sustainable and healthy way of living is through this form of self-love, giving yourself the space to be human. You do not need grace for yourself. You don't have to extend yourself grace. You can just allow yourself to be human. And I have an episode on that, episode 83. Yes, a call to choose humanity over grace. You can go and listen to that episode. Just tap back 2 episodes to listen to that one, to learn a little bit more about my thoughts on that when it comes to self-love. Number 3, intention. I define intention as getting clear on who you are and what you want while honoring the season of life that you're in. This becomes the basis and foundation for how you live your time, how you live your days, rather, which really that's your time, one today at a time. Under intention, you're going to hear me talk a lot about small steps and the power and importance of small steps. Another episode I'd love to refer you to is episode 47, where I talk about the power of small steps and the tortoise and the hare, which is probably one of the things I talk about every single week of my life in some form or fashion because it's just so applicable. Understanding the power of small steps falls under, I believe, the umbrella of intention. You're going to also hear me talk about honoring the season that you're in. Like I said, I define intention as getting clear on who you are, what you want, and understanding what that looks like within the season that you're in so that you can honor it. You're going to hear that and see that in our resources and our products because the season that we are in is an opportunity. And I want to invite you to look at it that way as opposed to something to rush through. Oh, I'm just so ready for this season to be over. I'm ready to get back to this season. Or, oh, I missed my old season of life when X, Y, and Z. You can find joy and health and intention in your season right now. It's an opportunity, right? It's the capsule that we are currently living in, and it can be filled with joy and peace and health when you learn how to honor it, right? And I can help you with that. Another thing which I think falls under the umbrella of intention is that the words that you speak and use matter. So you're going to find episodes here on the podcast where I help you to change your internal dialogue so that you can actually say things to yourself that are going to be far more fruitful and healthy. We don't want to use just these words that the world has given you to pick up, words like what I call the O word, overwhelm. These words, like I mentioned in the previous episode, humanity over grace. it's really easy to pick up the world's vernacular, but then wonder why you're so burdened and stressed out. It's because you're not being mindful and intentional with the words and the vocabulary that you're putting over and on your life. So intentionality, it will shape and change you for the better. But it also requires slowing down, which is yet another thing that the pace of this world does not want you to do. And again, like the tortoise and the hare, slowing down doesn't mean you're not going to win. You are, and you're going to win, and it's going to be sustainable. You're going to get there healthy, right? You're not going to get there tired, sweat, and broken bones and limbs because you tried to go at this pace that just did not work for your season, your life, your capacity, right? All of these things. So that's that. The last one, number 4, is proaction. I talked about the 4 principles, being ahead of what is to come and I'm going to tell you, being proactive is a surefire way to reduce stress and overwhelm and anxiety in your life and in your days. Being proactive, however, to be clear, isn't a shield against life happening, but it's a coat that protects you most of the time from being drenched, right? When life showers pour down on you. Best Today doesn't exist to give you magic tricks that keep you from your tire from going flat or from someone getting unexpectedly sick. No one is going to be able to stop those things from happening in your life. That's life. This is the game of life, right? Those are the little cards that we're sometimes pulling. But what Best Today and what being proactive does give you is what you need to overcome when those things happen, the tools on how to do that, and how to be proactive in a lot of those things, because maybe your tire went flat because you hadn't been maintaining them, and you need some way to actually remember how to maintain the things that you have so that they don't break down, surprisingly. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. This week, we have a 5-star review of the weekly preview planning pads from Toby, and Toby writes, "Game changer. The weekly pad, Clear Your Mind is my fave, has been an absolute game changer for me. I have used it alongside the Best Today guide. Utilizing this tool became an absolute priority for me, especially in grad school, because the 2 weeks that I didn't, I had missed several important things and my priorities were not tended to. I love how it's so person-focused, and my favorite thing is to fill out my truth of the week. My weeks have been more pointed, realistic, and," she wrote this in all caps, "rewarding. I can see where I can put in time for me, where I need to buckle down, and where I need to rearrange when fires pop up, or I need more me time. It's so flexible and so supportive." And she also included a picture. So if you want to see the picture, you can go to besttoday.co. Take a look at the weekly preview planning pad, which you can find under the shop button under planning and routine, or shop all. Thank you so much, Toby, for that 5-star review. To read all the other 5-star reviews on our website, you can go to besttoday.co. We will link to the preview planning pads in the show notes today as well. So just look down for the show notes link, click that, and it will also have the weekly preview plans listed there for you. You can find that at besttoday.co/85. That's besttoday.co/85. Thank you so much again, Toby. I'm so glad to hear that the planning pads are helping you every single week. If you are not previewing your weeks every week, you want to click the link and order your preview pads now. Today is the day to learn how and to get started. Thanks again, Toby. So preparing things before you need them is what proaction is, right? Planning your day the day before, previewing your week before the week begins, previewing your month at the top of the month or before it begins. These are simple ways to get ahead and have time to move things around if needed, and not get to a place and say, how did I let a week get like this where I am literally in meetings from Monday to Friday with 2 seconds to pee in between? Did you proactively look at that? So you knew this what was happening. You could do something about it. So you could proactively say, this is a new boundary we're setting so that this doesn't happen again. So These are the 4 principles that are behind what you're going to hear and see here. And they're also all embedded into our resources, which is why it's really important. Our resources are going to support this lifestyle. Sometimes it's difficult to take other people's resources and try to use them with our principles because they're not going to match. I'm not trying to make you more productive like most quote unquote time management things. I want to teach you how to optimize your time. But I'm choosing for you, what I want for you is intentionality over productivity. And when I say that, people say, oh, but I have to get things done. When did I say that you wouldn't? But you're going to get what matters done. And you're not going to kill yourself in the process. Okay. So some of the things that you're going to hear a lot with Invest Today are things like one today at a time. That's that reminder, that pace, that tortoise pace. Let's be clear. Tortoise pace doesn't mean you're not moving. Y'all, I move. Ask my team. I move. Tortoise pace is about consistency and sustainability, not necessarily legit talking about moving at the pace of a tortoise, okay? The power of small steps. Again, the Tortoise and the Hare episode, highly recommend. We'll link it in the show notes as well. Consistency is undefeated. It wins every time. You cannot convince me otherwise. I used to argue for a living. I was a litigator. Don't. Honor the season you're in. Like I've already said, what intentionality is, being clear on who you are, what you want while honoring the season you're in, being overdoing, centering your humanity. You will hear me talking a lot. And all of this is embedded in our resources. Intentionality over productivity. You will still get things done, but it's not the center or the focus. It's the result of your intention because you're not a machine. You weren't created to produce, right? You're not the aisle on the grocery store with the oranges and the watermelons and the greens, okay? Planning every night, the day or night before, previewing your week before the week begins. These are principles, and we have resources to help you to do all of these things. So if anything that I just said sounds like what you need, spoiler alert, it is, then you want to start with our resources, all of which you can find at besttoday.co. That is where everything lives. Number 1, if it feels heavy or like a lot, you can always take the quiz. You can also always email us. You can also always join our community and get into our app. BestTodayCommunity.com is where you'll find that. You'll find it there first and not in your app store, but it's available for Android and Apple phones. BestTodayCommunity.com, and come in and ask your questions. And guess what? The first 3 days in the community are free. So you can literally come in and ask your questions. Let me answer them for you. And then if you say, well, this place isn't for me, you can bounce. So please use the resources that we have. The Best Today guide is it is the thing that has it all in there. It will help you begin this process of getting clear on what matters right now, planning proactively for your months, your weeks, and your days, all in one place. That's what I love so much about it. Well, there's so many things I love so much about it, but it helps you plan all of that in one place. You, your life, what matters to you, your months, your weeks, and your days. It's the creme de la creme, like chef's kiss, right? Boy, if you want to start with smaller steps, I have you covered. We have our weekly preview planning pads. I always say start there because everyone can take 10 minutes on Sunday to preview your week before it comes. And I teach you exactly how to do that, right? Today's one thing, all that has on there is what is one thing you're going to do the next day for your mental, emotional, physical well-being, and one result outcome. If you are on the struggle bus, I don't want to say that actually. I'm not going to see that's using the world's terms again. If you are in a season that is particularly challenging, let's say it what it is. I hate these terms. Today's one thing is so great because all you're doing is coming up with what am I going to do to take care of myself and what is the one thing I need to do? That's it. That's it. And that's what the today's one thing is for you. We also have that bundled with the weekly preview pads, which is called the Week Today Bundle. We have morning and evening routine pads. Maybe where you want to start are the bookends of your day. I really need to get together how I start and how I finish. Spoiler alert, how you finish is going to affect how you start. So we really want to make sure we're taking care of our evenings and our beginnings. This is not about being robotic. That's not how I teach routine. And that's why our Right Now routine program has helped thousands of women all across the globe because I teach it in a way that actually works and is sustainable. There's also so much goodness coming in 2023. So I'm so glad that you're here, whether you're listening outside of 2022 or in 2023 or beyond. So make sure that you get on our email list. Go to besttoday.co/email. You can also text us at 404-737-1002 to join our text squad. Just text the word join, and we will know that you would like to join and receive text messages from us. We send emails and talk to you and converse with you every single week because we want to be in relationship and connection with you, to give you information every single week. So welcome to the Best Today family. Where to get started? besttoday.co. Ordering either the Best Today guide or the weekly preview plans are where I would say to start. You can take the quiz. It might recommend something differently because it's going to ask about your specific needs. And if you have a question you'd like for us to answer, you can reach out to us at hello@besttoday.co. If you need skills, first, I will tell you we have online programs right now, Routine, which teaches you how to create realistic routines that work for your life right now. And there's also Plans Be Done if you want to learn how to execute on your plans without perfectionism or procrastination. There's also Clean One Room, which teaches you how to stop cleaning your entire home and clean one room at a time using my 4-3-2-1 method, and then set it on a reset routine. We've got you covered. Welcome to the Best Today family, and thank you for being present with me for this week's episode of the Best Today podcast. Until next time, remember that you are capable and you are worthy of being your best one today at a time, and you have everything you need to have everything you want. So go on and shout it out as you live it out. This is what my best today looks like. I'll talk to you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today, and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.